Okay, so this one I'm gonna put a warning because it's a pretty bad case, but the way they responded to it is insanity. This is India. India's always got the top stories with this. Okay. Okay, so two minors rape a 5-year-old girl in school. In school. In school. Two boys, only 8 and 10. But if you guys remember back at age 8 and 10, now you don't know everything about the world, you don't know certain things. But by the time I was around 10 or 11, I knew what sex was. We found out in just all sorts of ways, okay? Not that we did it, but you're aware, you know. You didn't go doing it to other kids. Raped a 5-year-old on their school premises in UP's Gonda district on Friday. So they would have to know how to do the act. Like there's something with that, which would tell you they learned it somewhere. Somebody did something. Somebody, this is not good. They never look at the parents, right? They never look at the other people involved in this. And this is India, so everybody rapes everybody in India. Police have lodged a case against gang rape against the two. Okay, so the parents of the accused are being questioned, and the cameras of the school scanned to get further details. And then they say the preliminary investigation revealed that during recess time, the boys took the girl to a secluded spot near a classroom and allegedly sexually assaulted her. Yeah, so it's a thought out thing, right? We're gonna get this kid over here. Okay, so by the age of 6, like I was already kind of doing these little plots, not doing this, but little plots like, okay, I'm gonna go into the classroom and when the teacher's gone, I'm gonna go take those girl stickers, right? Like I'm already thinking that way, right? That's at 6. That's not at 8 and 10. It says in the complaint filed on Sunday, the girl's father stated that his daughter returned from school crying. She said two boys from school took her to a secluded spot and did something that hurt her and left her bleeding. And the police team, how did she even be able to go through school like that? I would have, I don't know. I think I would have just been crying in class and it would have been obvious. So I don't know what the hell these people, the boys, what the psychiatrist tells him like this: the boys may not know implications of the crime and could have committed it out of curiosity. Oh my God. Pat Robertson? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nuh-uh. The kids then were terrible. Mm-mm. 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 This is why I'm doing the story. I read that line. I was like, mm-mm. Mm-mm. It says exposure to sexual content freely available on the internet. No, is leading to adverse impacts of the psyche of boys of the state. No, that would mean that when I saw photos of something I would have, should have went out and raped every guy, then it would lead to that. What it means, more or less, in this case, is probably some other adult males or females may have raped these boys, and that would be more the thing here going on. We also, they did not look at a picture and go, we're going to go rape this little kid. That's not. This is globally, and this is the idiot. This is the psychiatric community in another part of the world, and this is where they're at. And this is what they just blamed it on. And then they're trying to act like the kids didn't know that they did that, like what they did there. They totally did. I mean, they to in part they did. When you're talking about that 6-year old that shot that lady, he knows what he's doing. It's like it's because of the environment that something there happened where it was normalized, and then he did that. We did not go raping people because we saw a picture of something or we were educated on sexual conduct. These people are dumb as shit. That's why they're all rapists, dude. And in this case here, I would literally be like the parents, arrest their parents. Like somebody's doing something there, something happened, like something for that to go on like that. Oh my God. Somebody raped those boys, man. We also published the following articles recently. Two boys age 8, 10 sexually did that. Okay. Exposure to sexual content freely available on the internet is leading to adverse impact on psycho boys of this age. No, you're low IQ. That is not correct. They may not know the implications and laws regarding the crime and could have committed it out of curiosity. No. Tragedy struck during, no, if that was, again, if that was even true, like when we were doing all the frat housing, then we would have just went there too, right? We had a line, okay? At least I thought we had a line, but we had a line there. So it's like, I know not to do that. It's like, that's there. It was in our sphere. Maybe not yours, but can't deal with it, dude. They keep saying that. That's what America was going on. Oh my God. The adults are stupid. How do you even go on like that? You were a kid once. You know exactly what people did. They may have raped out of curiosity. I've never heard. I no. When they're playing doctor and they're molesting you, it's out of curiosity. That's why we lower the age when other kids rape you. It's not as serious. This is what they did though. Look at this case right here where they're looking at it that way. Oh, these two boys, what they're doing is they're doing the boys will be boys thing, and they're like minimizing sexual rape conduct on other little girls. It was mainly focused on little girls, but of course everybody, right? So then they're like, it's not as big a deal. They're already like cuddling the perpetrators right here. I told you they're rapists before they even turn like freaking. When you see it by 14, it's too late, dude. But you will see it sometimes at 8 and 10. And I got touched by a boy at that age right there when they were that age. And he knew what he was doing. He absolutely did. He's like, my mom told me not to do it again, and I keep doing it. I did this thing. No, they absolutely know what they're doing. He's like, we got to make sure that nobody sees that because they know they're going to get in trouble. I just cannot believe the low IQ of the entire globe here on this topic. Like, nobody goes back to like third grade, which is around that age, and they were sitting there saying sexual stuff to me in class. No, they absolutely knew what they were doing, at least to an extent. They may not understand they would go to jail for it, but they absolutely were on this kick and they're acting like it just happened now. And by the way, back in that era, there was no computer. The only thing they did have was magazine stuff, but they were not learning to rape from seeing a photo. Those actions mean it's talking about the massive child abuse from parents, other family members, other people. And we know India has a massive problem where they just rape women on the street, like all over the place. So just sit here and say this garbage and sit there and try to cuddle these boys like they don't know what they're doing. They do in part because somebody must have sat there and raped these kids, and then they're doing it out of school. How did they do it out of school? But this was like the mentality of this is like America from like the 80s. It's like the brain is the same. And I'm telling you, there's still people that think like this today in America. But it's like indicating that somebody did something to at least one of them, and maybe the boy did something to the other boy or got the other boy to do stuff because he had it done to him. It could be a thing like that. But they knew enough to sit there and take the girl. They're like, we're going to go get that girl right there and we're going to go do that. It means that somebody most likely did that act to him. A photo doesn't teach you to do the act. The photo just shows you an act, or a video shows an act, but it's not showing you the act to go nab a kid and then go do that. Like, that's a different thing. And you guys are trying to act like it's something new from age 8. No, we're talking about other boys touching us, like very young. We're talking decades ago. They're all rapists. They were all rapists. They're getting touched by daddy. They're getting touched by whoever. But if you're sitting there blaming it on other stupid crap like that and then enabling it, saying they don't know what they're doing. No, they do in part know what they're doing. They may not know they're going to get arrested for it, but I'm telling you, they know what they're doing. They were really crappy when they were doing that. They were going up my skirt. They were doing all these things in class. And I was saying how the school would sit there and say, oh, we have to pull them away, but then wouldn't explain to me what they did to me. Because if I tell my parents may want to sue the school, right? They didn't. And they just brushed it off. Oh, and if anyone wants to know which school that was Whitehead. That's when they let this, I can't say they let this kid. This kid was going, like, watching up my skirt, and I didn't even understand what was going on. And so he already did that, and they just pulled him away. But I'm telling you, they did not tell my parents that. They didn't even explain to me what was wrong. They're like, that's wrong. That's it. They didn't say what was wrong with that situation. So then, therefore, they cover it up. And then that kid probably is a total rapist today. You know what I mean? They don't tell anybody's parents. You would have to be shown that from your dad or somebody to be doing conduct like that. That's not something that a kid would go, oh, I'm going to go look up some girl's skirt. Like, it's just a thing that they would have had to see. Like, dad's probably a pervert. I keep pulling out pervert dads online. If the guys are talking about us like that now, that they have kids. The kids are picking it up. It's you. It's the conduct at home. It's the conduct at home that they're seeing, and dad's doing that to mom, or they're doing it to the kids, or doing it in front of the kids, or doing those things. They have to see the actions of those things. And a lot of kids have been raped by adults. And then, therefore, by some other kids. I think the other kids are raping other kids because they got raped by somebody. And so then they do it to their peers and they think, whatever. But they know what they're doing. It's not a thing like, oh, I'm curious. It's like somebody did it to them and now it's normal for them to go do it. I've never heard of that. I was that age. I was like, nobody sat there and grabbed a 5-year-old in school. Well, how is the kids 8 and 10 in the same school with a 5-year-old? I was 6 at least at this one school. It would have until kindergarten in the same school for that to happen, at least in our school. And I was younger than most people, so I was 6. So then there were 8-year-olds up there. 10, yeah, there would be 10. And then I went to another school later, and that's where all the other ones were at. It's been this that's been going on where all the kids were getting raped and the adults were brushing it off as curiosity. This is how you overlook the entire mass child raping sexual abuse. I had to take a step back and pause on it because I'm getting really angry with this. They're also trying to play out that men are just naturally rapists and they go around doing things and they're just innocently committing a crime and getting a kid and dragging them somewhere private. It's showing that they did something that they knew that they shouldn't be doing. That's also the addition to that. Otherwise, if they didn't think anything was wrong with it, they would just do it right out in the open, right in the middle of everywhere, right? Some places in India, they do that. And you pat them on the back, right? Is it an accident? Is it curiosity? That's not what it's about. You have 2 little sociopaths already. They're already sociopaths. It's too late. It's like that 6-year-old. It's too late. Arrest those parents.